In an unexpected moment at the NATO summit on 11th July Thursday, President Joe Biden made a headline-grabbing gaffe while standing alongside Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other NATO leaders. This slip-up occurred just an hour before a crucial press conference deemed make or break for Biden's campaign, amid rising calls from political allies and donors for him to step aside. During a signing ceremony on the final day of the NATO summit in Washington, President Biden accidentally introduced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin.
And now I want to hand it over to the President of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
This mistake has raised further concerns about Biden's mental acuity, potentially impacting his presidential campaign. Concluding his remarks, Biden said, "Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin," which led to hesitant clapping and surprised reactions from European leaders, including German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Realizing his error, Biden corrected himself, stating, "President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin. We've got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President," Zelensky responded with a reassuring handshake, saying, "I'm better." To which Biden replied, "You are a hell of a lot better." The remark caused a stir among journalists watching live in the press center, with some shouting Zelensky to correct the president. Subsequently, Zelensky's scheduled press conference was cancelled, sparing him from addressing questions about Biden's mistake. The gaffe quickly spread through other press conferences with heads of government, renewing questions about Biden's ability to serve another term. UK Labour leader Keir Starmer defended Biden, emphasising the successful outcomes of the NATO summit and Biden's leadership. He said,
"This NATO summit is an opportunity for allies to stand together to strengthen their resolve, particularly in light of that appalling attack against Russian aggression. I'm pleased to have the early opportunity to affirm and reaffirm Labour's strong support, unshakable support for NATO. We're a founding member. It's now the 75th anniversary, but this is an opportunity to send that message in relation to Russian aggression wherever. But that attack last week was appalling, and so the message is even more important now than it was before. In relation to defence more generally, we will carry out our strategic review to look at the challenges, the capabilities, and on the back of that make further plans. I am committed to that 2.5% within our fiscal rules, but that strategic review needs to come first. But today, in tomorrow and the next day, is all about standing together with our allies, discussing practically how we provide further support for Ukraine and send a very, very clear message to Putin that we will stand against Russian aggression wherever it is in the world.
On the other hand, French President Emmanuel Macron dismissed the incident as a common slip of the tongue, and Chancellor Scholz avoided directly addressing the gaffe, expressing hope for continued support for Ukraine.